Hi guys, so this is section B of our journey in Newton's laws of motion. So this question bank, under section B, section A, we solved different kind of questions, that is about 15 questions under MCQs, and you guys enjoyed. I know you enjoyed. We talked about a number of questions, different questions from this topic. So now, today we are going to talk about different aspect of this topic, different questions. So the first question that I have is very interesting question. The question goes like this: a man slides a crate at a constant velocity along a horizontal floor by pulling on the rope attached to the crate at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. The crate weighs 50 kgs and the coefficient of kinetic friction between the crate and the floor is 0.65. Find the tension exerted on the rope, 10 marks. Now, how can we get 10 marks? I'm going to show you how you can get the full 10 marks in this video. Okay, so the first thing is come up with a free body diagram. Understand the question. So the question is talking about, we have the floor. Then you have got the crate. Now this crate, we have got the rope. It is you are pulling. So pulling, you are using the tension force. So pulling meaning that you are using the tension force at an angle of what? Of 30 degrees. Meaning that this tension force has got the x component and the y component. According to vectors, if I take you back to vectors, meaning that tx is equal to t cos theta, then the ty is equal to t sine theta. That is according to vectors. We talked about this. Using SOHCAHTOA here, I can clearly see that tx, if I resolve tx, is t cos theta. Ty is t sine theta. Okay? That one is just direct, right? Now, the question continues to say, at a constant speed. So, whenever we're talking about constant speed, the acceleration is zero. Under Newton's laws of motion, whenever anything under physics, as long as we're talking about constant velocity or constant speed, the acceleration is zero. At any constant speed, the acceleration is zero. Perfect, right? Yeah. Then the mass of this guy is 50 kgs. We leave it like that. We have got the kinetic friction that is opposing the motion. And we've been told that the mu k is 0.65, which is here. We've been told this. Now, let's try to look at the forces that are acting in this case. Okay? So, when an object is on surface or horizontal table, we have got the weight force that is pointing downward. Weight force, we know that is equal to mg. We have got the normal force pointing upward, so I'll have the normal force in that case. Now, the question is, we want to find the tension force. I've come up with a free body diagram with my data to the right side. Now we want to solve this. The summation, let's start with the forces in x direction. The summation of all the forces in x direction. Now, let's talk about the forces that we have in x direction. In x direction, we have got the tension, the tension force, but the x component of the tension force, which is the tx. Now, the friction force is opposing the motion, so it will carry a negative because it is moving in opposite direction with the tension force. So it will be minus the friction force. Now, the summation of the forces, since we are saying that at a constant speed the acceleration is zero, we know that this summation is supposed to be replaced by mass times acceleration, but acceleration is zero, meaning that everything here will be replaced by zero. Tx is t cos theta minus the friction force is mu times the normal force. Okay? That's what we know. So now what we're going to do, we shift this to go to the other side. So then in this case, we're going to have mu times the normal force is equal to t cos theta. In this case, I don't know the normal force. Okay, my goal is to find the tension force. So I don't know the normal force. I have the mu value, but I don't know the normal force. In a case where you have got this and you are pushing this object not at an angle, okay, the normal force in that case is equal to mg. But in this case, the normal force is going to be different. Else, it's going to be different for the fact that we have got the tension force that is moving in this direction. Now, the forces that we have in y direction, we have gotten the weight force that is pointing downward, the normal force upward, and the ty which is pointing upward. Therefore, we need to say that the summation of forces in y direction, how many forces do we have in y direction? The normal force, the ty, and the weight force. The normal force and the ty, they are pointing upward, so they will carry a positive. The weight force is pointing downward, it will carry a negative. This object is not moving in y direction, therefore the summation of forces in y direction will be replaced by 0. So this is Fn. This, replace it with t sine theta. This one is mg. We want to make Fn as a subject of the formula. Shift these guys to go to the other side. So you have got mg minus t sine theta is equal to the normal force. Now, where there is a normal force in this equation, plug in mg minus t sine theta. So we'll come here and say mu, open brackets, mg minus t sine theta, close the brackets, is equal to t cos theta. Now, at this point, we have everything except the tension force, and our goal is to find the tension force. Let's make tension as a subject of the formula. Not a problem, right? Yeah, not a problem. So let's now distribute the mu value. So mu times mg minus mu times t sine theta will be equal to t cos theta. I don't have enough space. I'll start from here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to shift this guy to go to the other side. So we end up having mu mg will be equal to t cos theta plus the mu t sine theta. We factor out t here because we want to make t as a subject of the formula. Mu mg will be equal to t, open brackets, cos theta plus mu sine theta. We divide both sides by cos theta plus mu sine theta. Even here we do the same. Divide it with cos theta plus mu sine theta. These two guys are going to cancel out, and what we're going to remain with is t to be equal to the mu mg. We divide this by cos theta plus mu sine theta, like that. After doing this, we can go ahead and plug in the values. Then we see the tension force that we're going to get. Now, I don't want to get rid of this because I have got my data this side. Okay, I'll get it from the question. So this is how now I can get the full 10 marks. So the tension force is equal to the mu value is 0.65 times the mass is 50 kgs times the g is 9.8. We have been told that use g as 9.8. We divide this by cos 30 degrees plus mu is 0.65, then you have sine 30 degrees. Therefore, t is equal to, let's now dismantle the top part, 0.65 times 50 times 9.8. We have 318.5. The down part is cos 30 plus 0.65 sine 30. And what I'm getting down here is 1.191. So I can say 0.3 like this. Therefore, we can now divide this to get the tension force. T will be equal to 318.5. We divide this by 1.19103. and I get my tension force at 267.42 newtons, and this is the answer for this question. Now, Newton's laws of motion is something that is not difficult. It's very easy. As long as you understand vectors, you understand Newton's laws of motion. Now, Newton's laws of motion is going to help us to answer questions under work, energy, and power, linear momentum, rotational work, energy, and power, and rotational motion. So you need to, and you can't run away from Newton's laws of motion, guys. Okay, this is one of the interesting topic in physics, Newton's laws of motion. So we are done with question 1.